Yes, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share. My name is Sumit. I am from Orissa, from the district of Koraput, which is bordering Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, and Orissa. It's a very interesting region to come from. And I'm currently based out of Chennai. I'm a policy and political researcher. I work for the DMK party in Tamil Nadu. I suggest them policies and research inputs I give them so that they can make better policies for Tamil Nadu. Um, Apart from this, in my informal capacity, I'm part of a reading circle called Ambedkar Reading Circle, which gathers every 2 Sundays in a park in Chennai. And I try to provide them with some guidance and resources and networking that I have so that they get access to better political engagement. The other thing that I do in my informal capacity is to mentor young students from small towns and villages who are aspiring to be in higher education, because I myself come from a small town, and it can be very difficult to navigate that journey. So I try to make sure that students have those support system. Uh, yes, so that's about me. Currently, I'm also editing a book with Professor Barbara Harris White. It's called Castes in the 21st Century, trying to understand how do people understand caste and practice caste in 21st century. And this book is going to come out February next year. Uh, yes, so that's about me. How has the course impacted me? I think when I look back to the first session, the first, this thing talk by CB Uncle. CB Uncle talked about how public engagement is a mandate from God, uh, and that really set the tone of the course. And God deeply cares about people outside the church as well. Church, the society, and environment, and that is part of the integral mission of God. And we, as Christians, we are supposed to collaborate with God wherever God calls us to, and so that we can bring about the kingdom that God has envisioned. And Following that, Isaac Uncle spoke about integral mission. Hermeneutics, sound hermeneutics, where uh, which gave me a very holistic understanding of what mission is. And especially, I remember reading one article which spoke about Mark 28, going out to the world and preaching the gospel and making disciples. But apart from that, you also tell people to do what Jesus has commanded them, and that includes a whole lot of things. So that really, I was trying to figure out. Um, I was trying to figure out my own understandings of the scripture. Um, Regarding integral mission, and the course really helped me to understand that the call of God in our life, the call of God to the church, is not just about personal salvation. It's not just about soul saving. It's not just about church plantation. It's beyond that. We are called to be salt and light to the world. And Bonnie Ma'am in particular gave examples of people like Amos and other characters in the Bible who cared deeply about God's heart, who obeyed God's calling, and they engaged with authorities, not just within religious setup, but even outside. So yes, these are my key learnings that I got from the course, and some of them were affirming, very affirming of something that I was struggling with for a long time, and made me realize that my work, I might not have served in the church. I did serve the church when I was in JNU long back, but not anymore in my capacity. But I was feeling that the things that I'm doing, they are not Christian. I really struggled with this, because church wants to capture all parts of your life, and I wrestled with that, because it's not just Friday prayer meetings or Wednesday Bible studies or Sundays, but outside of that, there are many things that happens within the church. They want you to be part of everything. I mean, yes, there are people who are committed to take part in those activities within the church, but there are others like us who also have other engagements outside of the church with civil society groups, with reading circles and studies. And that, I think I've got peace with that now, that I can be both part of the church and I can also engage with these things. What do I like to do in future? Um, I think I would like to collaborate with like-minded Christians, and engage more, because in the past 6 to 7 years, many events have happened, political events have happened in the country. And as Christians, apart from sending memorandums or writing letters, we've not done much. And I think we need to do much more in sharing our understandings and sharing our perspectives as to where do we stand as church, where do we stand as Christians when all these things are happening. We cannot play safe. We cannot be enclosed in our own cocoons. I think that is something that I hope to, we hope to do. And I would like to play my part in it, having been exposed to so many civil society groups, so many political groups. I would like to make sure that we as Christians do that. Uh, the other thing that I really would like to do is collaborate with groups, Christian groups, who are working in the churches with young people, so that we can politically make them conscious. It's not to say which party to support, but to provide them with some sort of glimpse into what political engagement looks like in terms of resources, in terms of readings, in terms of some sort of understanding, so that they also get interested. So this would be my second commitment. Third commitment is something that I have been doing for last 3 to 4 years. I'm very much interested in understanding Christians from marginalized communities in Orissa who are devoid. I mean, who are denied opportunities, schemes of the government, basic amenities, just because they're converted to Christianity. And there's a lot of dilemma among people how to navigate that. Either to, uh, I mean, where do they go? What kind of political engagement should they do? That has been a dilemma, which I deal with those dilemmas. I struggle with it, and I hope to do a PhD on that. And that has been a burden in my heart, which I would like to do. The last thing that I would like to share is regarding practical experiences with the course taught me. Many a times, as Christians, we think of politics as dirty. We think of politics as it's like a it's like a muddy space that you cannot be a Christian and be part of these political spaces, because it takes away your conviction. It makes you compromise. But the course, by bringing people who've engaged in development sector, who've engaged in active electoral politics, um, convinced me, and I hope it also convinces others, that these are spaces that we shouldn't avoid. We can still be Christians. We can follow God. We can have intimate relationship with God and yet be in public life. And that was, I think, and that was the biggest learning for me in my life, because these are spaces where you feel very alone. You feel like you're the only person who is Christian, and it can be very difficult to navigate. But yes, so thank you so much.